Property for you. You buy us. Property for you. Property for you. Property for you.
Welcome to Property for You, a show that inspires every Motswana to know more about property and property-related issues. My name is Kumo Khwadira, and welcome to today's show. This week, Property for You is back with a vengeance, all for your information and enjoyment at home. We set the ball rolling with an informative discussion on the household energy source considerations during the design phase in property development. Right on the heels of that comes the wonderful production our crew brings from Khorsani Block 9. Our final point is devoted to pet talk with a purpose. There you go.
Property for you.
Discussion.
Now, we all know energy is a necessity to our daily lives. We welcome those who know better about the subject as they dig out the nitty-gritty to a crew.
Every property structure must somehow use one form of energy. This means that right from the beginning of construction, a decision has to be made about the type of energy that will be used. In some cases, there have to be fittings integrated into the design before construction.
Please explain alternative energy in relation to property development.
Renewable energy basically would be your non-conventional forms of energy for providing for your lighting, for your water heating, or anything else that you can drive that needs some form of energy to get going. In terms of property, the renewable energy applications that are available would be your solar water heating and your lighting. Those are the most basic. You could go further and get more complex, but those are the basic forms of renewable energy that are applicable to property.
Property development is enhanced by the energy utilization which matches the current advances in technology. Therefore, choices are made quite early in the process of construction, so that the structure is compatible with the required energy usage.
At what stage of building is it advisable to now bring in alternative energy measures?
It is always best, at design stage, so that we incorporate everything else. We size up what it is that you need in terms of energy requirement. But if you already have property or you are buying property that is already existing, there is possibility to actually retrofit these equipment, whether should it be solar water heaters or should it be solar panels for lighting. There is a possibility to retrofit this equipment. So at any point really you can actually bring this technology into use at your home.
In your own view, is using solar energy an expensive solution?
As I said earlier, I think what is important is the payback. I'm going to give you an example with a solar water heater. A solar water heater will cost you 3 times, or even sometimes even 10 times more expensive than an electric geyser. But remember, with an electric geyser, you're paying for the rest of your life. Not only that, you're continuously polluting by demanding from the grid. But with a solar water heater, your payback is sometimes 3 years, up to 5 years. After 5 years, you don't pay a cent for it, except obviously minor, maintenances here and there. But on the overall, you don't pay a cent because your energy really comes from the sun.
Since Botswana is experiencing difficulties with power supply, it would be wise to consider how to counter power outages. This demands careful thinking in the architectural design stage to determine what options are possible.
I currently am a member of an association called the Solar Industry Association of Botswana, which is an association that tries to educate Botswana about these opportunities and things that can be achieved in line with renewable energies.
Property for You was lucky to find one family that relies on energy other than electricity. Naturally, the crew gladly asked the house owner to share his experiences with the program viewers.
I am a user of a solar water heating in my property, and in my property I heat up the water with solar energy, which is basically a solar collector and a reservoir. The collector just heats up the water, stores it in the reservoir, and then the water is ready for usage without any consumption of electrical power whatsoever. One other advantage car solar energy is that after installation you don't have any other costs maybe related to the bill and so forth.
Property for you.
Discussion.
Property for you.
Lifestyle.
Mogoritsani Block 9 is becoming one of the leading residential property. In our quest for vibrant lifestyles, we could not resist an opportunity to cast the Property for You cameras up on a dazzling piece of construction. Now this is what comes out.
The area known as Mogoritsani in Block 9 is comparatively new in the Gaborone vicinity. Spacious plots set the stage for fascinating residential construction. Property for You landed a remarkable ultimate house of a trendsetter.
Okay, re ke le tsole Mepinki. Why le decide le gore la batla go nna mo Mogoritsani Block 9? Mahelo a le kana kana hela ke ene shuse le helole.
O gana mahalo o ga go mo go mo so mo di khaolo you find where it's quiet all weekend, you know, you can just distress without having to go to town because
Another logical question from Kumo sought to find out what motivated the picturesque shapes which dominate the external view of a structure, making it look classical and signifying a place of interest.
Any specific name.
Okay.
We were inspired by the fact that we need a house it has some protections in terms of the walls. So that's the idea behind Makuma Matuna. Or if only maybe winds, strong winds, you know that the house is protected. Okay. But at the same time, it gives it a nice design, more especially the Chilean things.
Looking at how beautiful this house is, the
way we designed it, you know, we wanted to maximize out of the value of the land, you know, size thing, to make sure we don't compromise.
Okay.
So that in the future we expand, because we expand even in terms of structure, in expansion, you know, it doesn't do structure. But it's out of the way in that we wanted to build a house, a family house, myself and my son.
Construction was phased to provide moments of reflection and thorough interrogation of fashion concepts. The style and building process is a family vision brought to life.
Mepinki, how long have you been staying here?
Renale 5 months.
Oh, you're still very fresh.
Rebasha.
Okay.
But we started building way back in 2010.
Motswana ko lapeng o lebile o lebe re ntlo e ntle le ene o batla go nna ha le neng teng le ka mane ba sa ko lapeng le reng
Nkare what do you need to compromise with it? You'll find where bangwe ba rata dikoloi nna ke rata dikoloi gore ke dumela ra ke na le koloi le one tshwanetse ke itlhokomele e be le gore madimo a ke na le one ke a irisa mo dilo tse le go leina le boleng bo go aga matuyana go nka encourage but more especially youth ra itse gore dikoloi ga ba kgweetsa e nte mme a kwa robala mo koloi mtu o ka simolola mo ka enyenyana.
The garden is interestingly shaped as it wanders round the entire building. The sparkling green grass, which is curved to be compatible with all the corners of the house, dominates the eye.
Statue se ke le gong hela so ne ke batla gore ke le ke go designer nyana mo gardening. Emma.
Is there somebody who takes care of your garden?
Marna le re o re thusa mo gardening.
He's doing a very good job.
Emma.
So lone it's mahela all the way to the back.
Yeah, it's mahela all the way to the back. Etona.
Ke rata le di fenster ga ntse ka phela mantlwana le di batla door.
Di batla.
Wena botsenya. This is very different.
The exact location and design of the pool makes it a proud point of attraction.
In most houses, the outdoor area is usually paved all around. But with this house, there is a slight difference. The patio has its own decorative style. They have a black, beautiful tile, as you can see, and the pavement as well, just to show a bit of contrast.
Looking around from the sitting room, the beauty of everything in its entirety seems too good to be true.
This is the lobby.
Okay.
And then Hagiwane is the main entrance.
Okay.
Alright. Yeah. And then this is the lounge. It's spacious. Harry rap lane near batla kona openana so that hakena le buying hakele mo kitchening re ka khona go nantse re bua re le mmogo dining lone gonne go bulegile la ka bona go bulegile ga gona le badi gape le yone kitchen gore ne skona ke re ha letswa letse o itlhala di besen diketse go le go so ha entsana o tshaba gore ba phetlha re ba tsana le itlhala go ntse leswe
all right
mo ke kitchen Emma ke gone ha ile gore ke le hemle ke le ratang this is my favorite room.
Okay. I see what you've used different shades of brown. I see dark brown on the cupboards, lighter brown here. Why brown?
Ke dirisitse brown because the colors tse dingwe they are bright. So ne ke batla sengwe hela se siketlileng and then the colors the way things in ke batla gore go ska ga nna dark go hle mo ntlong. So that's why ne ke change the color ha le le hahle. Okay. This is the dining room.
Okay.
Ke gona ha ireng ha re ja beri ke tla teng. Re ja la gona ha. Ke gona kitchen se gore it's an open plan. Ne re batla tota gore ha o le mo mo khana go bana gongwe le gongwe ko
But I've noticed something about you. Each and every room has its own special mabone. Amantlo gore ana ba na different ka go ngotlele.
Mabone ke ne ke batlile gore room nngwe le nngwe nne le bonela teng gore se ka re o tso mo kitchen bo re bo lebe go godimo go tshwanela le mo le mo home and lo ne mabone ra rekile local.
Nice.
Guest toilet.
Alright. Wow, it's really wide. What's your sitting room, the lounge? How similar to
This is the TV room.
Okay.
Emma. Ke gone ha re iketlang teng ha re setse re tla go itapolosa megopo. Emma.
Organizing the interior focused on the specific family requirements rather than the market offerings. The result is an end product which stands out as homely as the best there is. It's scenery that tones up the mind and muscles.
And then tell me about your ceiling. This is like room number 3. What are the ceilings they can
Design any ke ratile hela tota like ya ka bua le ha re go tlhatlagane most of the room ha so re tsene di tlhatlagane go re khona go itlhela mo go le botenyana like go nong di a go teng ha di tsole go so ne ke rata designer teng. Okay.
I'm so in love with the passage. It is big and it's very wide. It connects the bathrooms, the bedrooms, as well as the main room, which is the master bedroom.
The kids' corner is really hot stuff. Only young minds can understand this pink wonderland.
Yeah, there's my room, as you can see.
Yeah.
Colorful as it can be.
Yeah.
Well, like, I'm a purple fanatic. That's why my walls are purple, my bedding and everything here.
And the curtains are purple.
Yeah.
Okay, but tell me about your room.
Well, it's my favorite room in the house here. So like, cause like I get to relax and be alone, and not being annoyed by my thingy, my little sister. I was like, hey, I got a handful of trouble. So yeah.
The arrangement of the bedrooms has focus on space and convenience. Property for You gives you stuff to boggle the mind.
Property for you.
Lifestyle.
Property for you.
Tips.
Today's closing clip provides tips on how to make dogs garden friendly. As a home pet, the dog can be groomed to appreciate the green environment without being messy and destructive.
Many people who keep dogs as pets tend to expect them to behave somewhat like human beings without training them at all. Such people expect too much from their dogs, so they are disappointed if dogs brutalize the garden. It is possible to train the dogs to appreciate the garden plants. Training dogs when they are young yields better results when relaxing in the garden. Bring the dog with you, but insist on keeping it on a territory that is free of plants. The aim is to influence it to get used to occupying only free space without tampering with the plants. Any slight move over the shrubs or flowers should be stopped. Over time, the dog will get into the garden alone, but confine itself to the usual open space without ever trampling on the delicate plants. Another useful hint is to allow the dog time for exercise, but not in the garden. This trains the dog to view the garden area as not compatible with spontaneous short runs often made from sheer pleasure and exercise. People who allow dogs into the house allocate specific parts of the house for this purpose. As time passes, the dog masters the sitting arrangements and will keep its distance. During the training, the dog should never be let loose without someone attending to the garden. If this happens, they will certainly get messy inside the garden. Besides, they enjoy free activity, which may involve plant destruction. If a dog spends long hours alone at home, a kennel and a chain are enough to solve the problem. The kennel should be cleaned regularly. Time for exercise is needed whenever the kennel is used for long hours. There are dog experts who have mastered the art of training dogs. A homeowner who wants to make the most of the dog can seek the assistance of such experts. Although this certainly involves financial costs, the reward is worth every tebe spent this way. Dangerous dogs are a threat to passers-by. As such, they should be chained or the premises should be fenced. It is the responsibility of the dog owner to prevent the dog from biting strangers.
Property for you.
Tips.
Thank you so much for watching the show. Now remember to SMS your answers A, B, or C to 17666 to receive amazing giveaways. Now from me, Kuma, and the rest of the team, I'll see you next week.